So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Cabinet meeting, this extraordinary Cabinet on the 30th of October. We seem to be having lots of extraordinary Cabinets this year, but hopefully this should be the last one before we get everything sorted out. We have apologies from Councillor Ros Chad. It's half term, she's on holiday. Councillor Lou Bauman is on her way. Ironically, she's caught up, being in charge of highways, she's caught up in an accident on the M3. So at least it's not on a Hampshire road at the minute. But Lulu should be with us in a few minutes' time, hopefully. Item 2 is declarations of interest. Now, I think we should, those of us who are members of other authorities should just make a disclosable interest on the basis that we are dual hatters and are members of other authorities. So that would cover myself and Kirsty, Zoe, Liz, Jan and Steve. Okay. It won't cover Lulu if she arrives, wouldn't have covered Ross, so that's all good. We've got some minutes of the previous meetings. Those are from the 23rd and 26th of September. Has everyone had a look at them? Everyone happy with them? All agreed? Thank you so much. I've got no real chairman's announcements today. This is just an exceptional meeting that we're popping in to talk about devolution, and similarly we have no deputations or requests to speak from any of our non-executive members. So Hampshire and Solent devolution update and next steps, which are the items on pages 5 to 24. And I think that's Natalie and Stuart who are going to talk to us about it, and Lily's arrived. Well done. So just about to start, so well done. Just about to start, well done for making it. Yeah. Natalie.
Good morning. This report updates Cabinet on the work to secure a form of agreement with the other constituent members of the Mayoral Combined County Authority to minimise the likelihood of financial liabilities as a result of the terms of the statutory instrument to set up the MCCA. A memorandum of understanding has been agreed in principle by all 4 upper tier local authorities, which is attached as Appendix 1 to the Cabinet report. It's worth noting this MOU is not legally binding, but is an expression of intent, and the impact of breaking the MOU will be political and reputational. All 4 upper tier local authorities are now following their own internal processes to approve the MOU, and Cabinet are asked to approve the MOU on behalf of Hampshire County Council. Following the approval of the MOU and subject to formal approval by all other 3 upper tier local authorities, Cabinet are asked to delegate authority to the Chief Executive in consultation with the Leader of the Council to approve the final form of the statutory instrument and consent to the creation of the MCCA. Cabinet are also asked to note the risks to the County Council associated with the payments of grants to the MCCA from April 2026, the most significant being highways maintenance and the local transport grant. The Legal and Governance Group under the MCCA set-up workstream are looking at the possible mitigations to these risks, such as through the constitution of the MCCA. A further financial settlement is expected for the MCCA, which has been indicated by MHCLG but is currently embargoed with no indication of when this information will be released. And then lastly, Cabinet are asked to appoint Councillor Nick Adams-King and Councillor Jan Warwick to represent Hampshire County Council on the Shadow Board until such time as the statutory instrument is approved by Parliament and the MCCA is established, with Councillor Ros Chad and Councillor Kirsty North to act as substitutes. Thank you.
Super, thanks so much. What we have talked about this a lot, everybody, and I think we're all at the point where we understand fully the different aspects of it. There remain a few items that need to be sorted out, and not least those issues that are in paragraph 4 around funding that currently will be pooled for the combined authority, and each of the constituent parts are clear that we would want those amounts passported through to each of the existing councils to ensure that we were able to continue our highways maintenance responsibilities, for example, using the amount of money that is allocated to us and so on. In terms of a risk, I don't think that's a huge risk for us because, as Natalie says, it's something that we can hopefully resolve as part of the constitution of the combined authority upon which everybody is working at the minute. If you remember when we were talking at council, we agreed that we would hold this additional cabinet to approve this the memorandum of understanding in order that we could ensure that we mitigated the risk of only having 30% of the seats on the MCCA, but having 70% of the liability when the costs were allocated, if there were any costs that were in addition to those that had been budgeted for initially. So that was our issue. It has been resolved. It's been resolved as a consequence of the cooperation and the support of our colleagues in Southampton and Portsmouth and the Isle of Wight. And so to Phil and to Alex and to Steve, I say thank you very much for all of the cooperation that we've had. We've had a really good conversation about it. They understood our point of view and they were happy to come up with a solution. And the solution that we have negotiated is that any decision that covers an increase over and above the budgets that would be approved needs to be a unanimous decision of the combined authority. So that effectively gives everybody a veto over expenditure that would not be not be in line with the different areas. And of course that will in itself change once LGR happens and we have different councils in place. So for that reason I'm really happy to support this as well. I don't know whether there are any questions or comments from Cabinet colleagues first. Liz.
Yes, no questions, really just a comment. I think a lot of congratulations are due to you and Jan and the officers for bringing this to fruition. I mean, I've seen several iterations of this through the years. We've always got so far and then we've been knocked back and it's never happened. So I think, massive congratulations that we've got this far to the benefit of Hampshire. Thank you.
Sorry, Steve.
Thank you, Leader. I agree with what Liz just said. It's really good to see. Particularly interesting to understand where we are on this in context in what's happening in Surrey and their reorganisation. And I think it bodes well. We seem to have taken absolutely the right decision for our Hampshire residents. And this is just another step towards that. So I'm really supportive. Thank you.
All good? Oh, sorry, Stephen.
Well, it's just agreeing again. The implication of this approach is that the diplomacy level between all the constituent authorities is going to be extremely high. There's going to be lots of discussion so that things can be done in a collegiate way. And that strikes me as a positive start to the reform.
And I think that also bodes well for whatever the iteration of new councils eventually emerges. And if it doesn't, then still we have much better relations now with our neighbours than we might have had a few years ago, and that caused many of the challenges that knocked things back in the past. So, and that's down to everybody. For all of us have worked really well on this. So, super thanks. Select committee chairs. Any comments, Juliet?
Just really to comment there, reiterating, thank you for negotiating for us because it was a huge area of concern. It seemed really unfair. And thank you for coming to this new arrangement. So thank you.
Rod?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm really gratified to see that you managed to get the veto put in, and I think that is all credit to the negotiation skills of both yourself and the officers. So again, well done. It was definitely needed and a positive move.
Super. In which case, just to wrap up, thanks for what you said. I mean, this is the 8th attempt, I think, or possibly the 9th. I don't know. I lose track of how many times we've tried to do this, but we are eventually here. We can't talk because of the embargo from government about exactly what the package looks like, but this will bring hundreds of millions of pounds of investment in the infrastructure of Hampshire and the Solent to our area. It will be to the benefit of our residents. We are all determined still to focus upon the areas of our county and cities and island that are most deprived, and through helping those people we will help all of us by improving the lives of us all. And it means that we will have control over many decisions that are currently made in Whitehall at a much more local level that can benefit our own area, can benefit us by way of taking into account the nuances of the area that in which we all live, and I know that we all love, and that is so special to all of us. So it is a wonderful opportunity for us. It is something, a legacy that we can leave for our successors, no matter how they might look in the new councils that emerge. And I think it's work that all of us, because it's been a team effort, it's not just about us, it's been a team effort of all of us as a cabinet and as a council, and most of all the officers, because I know that despite the fact that we have all been working our way in quite a collegiate way, there's been some pretty tough conversations behind the scenes. And Natalie's been in the centre of a lot of those. And a huge thank you to all of the work that the officers have done, because it has been a massive piece of work, but it's one that we've got there at the end of the day. And a piece of work of which we should all be very proud. So I'm very happy to move the proposals in the recommendations that are in paragraphs 2 to 6. All of those in favour? Agreed. Okay. And that's us done, I think. Thank you very much. One of our shortest cabinet meetings ever. But we've all got a bit of time back now.